Hello friends, welcome back. I'm here with another review. This time it's for the Nespresso Citiz espresso machine in chrome. I purchased this coffee machine back in December during Nespresso's big annual sale, and now it's been about 5 months, so I think I've gathered enough information to let you know whether this is a buy or whether this is something you could actually let go of and really don't need. I also wanted to learn any tips and tricks so that I could share with you guys. And so in the following clips, I have videos of myself unboxing the machine for the very first time, and I will talk through that now. So here is the package that the Nespresso Citiz Chrome came in. And as you see, it came with a few capsule boxes. It came with two capsule boxes included in the price. That was in vanilla, eclair, and caramel. And it came with a box of sample capsules so that I can try many different kinds. I did have to request that initially because there were some errors or some trouble with the coffee machine getting there. I kept getting different delivery dates than when it would arrive, so I called customer service and they decided to throw in some capsules for free. So that made it not such a great experience initially. I purchased this espresso machine in the Nespresso store, but since they didn't have stock, I needed to get it shipped to me. And that took about a couple of weeks actually, since they were in high demand. This is the frother that comes with the machine. I decided to purchase the machine that came with the frother included. It made more sense for the pricing. And there will also be a frother stand on the machine. So it's an all-in-one duo. As you can see here, there's a spring that comes with a frother, which you have to be really careful with every time you use the frother. Something I've gotten in the habit of is washing my frother every single time I use it because I don't want any kind of milk or residue to get stuck on the machine. And then here is the actual chrome machine. It was a lot more compact than I thought. If you can see it in comparison to my coffee brewer, it's much smaller in size, but I'm okay with that because I have a smaller kitchen anyways. I really like that this machine in particular with the frother duo has one outlet. I have very limited power in my kitchen, and a lot of my appliances already use up the outlets when it comes to like the toaster and microwave. So I was definitely excited to see that they made this machine with a single outlet because most of the other machines you needed multiple outlets to plug into. And so that was a big selling point and reason why I purchased this one in particular. Here are some of the capsule boxes. I believe these are called sleeves of just one type of coffee. That is the caramel. So I'm much more of a sweet coffee drinker, and I was pretty shocked that I did not enjoy either one of these coffee flavors. For some reason, they had like a burnt taste to them, so it just wasn't for me, but luckily, Nespresso also threw in this sample pack where I was able to try some of what became my favorite coffee capsules, which I'll share more towards the end of the video. But Nespresso has a ton of options when it comes to coffee. Another big selling point on this machine for me was that it used the original espresso pods. I really wanted to stick to something that was more universal. From my understanding, there is an original and there's also a second option. The name escapes me right now, but in the research that I did, the espresso machines that use the original capsules could actually use capsules from anywhere. So like Starbucks, Peet's Coffee, I believe Trader Joe's also sells some pods for Nespresso, and it was important to me that I had many options to purchase coffee from, not just Nespresso. So that was a big selling point for me as well. And if that's important to you, that is something to note. This is the water filter, and a tip that I got from a friend that has had an espresso machine for a while is to make sure to not use tap water on your water filter, to just use filtered water, because it's better for the machine, so less, minerals kind of get through the machine, and it makes it last longer. And I never looked into that, but I didn't ask questions. And ever since I've gotten my machine, I've only ever used filter water to refill the water tube. And it's a pretty good size. I actually don't feel like I need to refill it often. So there's just a place in the bottom where this clicks into, and a place on the top, and it's nice and sturdy. And then I just tucked in the coffee machine. But I brought out both oat milk and creamer because, as I mentioned, I do like sweeter coffees. And so I wanted to try the creamer in the frother. And let's see how the coffee turns out. Here is me trying my very first latte. And it was pretty easy to navigate, very frothy. I really enjoyed the frother. And this was kind of the final coffee. I added a little bit of cinnamon at the top, which was also another tip from a friend. And really enjoyed my first latte. This is a recipe for an iced drink. So as time progressed, I learned this tip of adding the cinnamon directly to the frother. I also add a little bit of vanilla. And for me, I like it better when the cinnamon doesn't just sit on top of the coffee, but it's actually infused in the frother or in the froth. And there is both a hot froth setting and a cool froth setting. So if you hold that button down for more than 2 seconds, it'll turn into cold coffee froth setting, versus the hot. You just press it once and it turns red, and when it's cool, it turns cold. Then I just added my Tokyo capsule to the espresso. I already added ice so that it helps cool, and sometimes I have trouble with the button for some reason. I have to press it multiple times for it to go. But here's the espresso. I added even more coffee on top, and then you'll see that I'll add the froth to it right after that. Very easy to pour. It is pretty quick. The machine is a little loud with the espresso pods, in my opinion, but it doesn't bother me since I live on my own, so no one I have to keep quiet for. And I just stir and use my straw. I don't think I've perfected the iced drink recipe with espresso. I definitely feel like I have to try a few more times to really get the one that's right for me. And I think that's a big takeaway with this machine, is that there are many combinations to try and it'll take time. I hope you found those videos helpful to gather some closing thoughts on the machine. For me personally, I actually don't think I would repurchase this again or feel like it's a necessity in my kitchen. I have a latte perhaps once a week, much more when it was colder outside. I would crave something hot and warm, and so I would make myself a latte, but it's not something I have daily or at all multiple times a day. I've noticed that as the weather has heated up, I crave more of an iced drink, an iced coffee, and I haven't found the right recipe for my Nespresso machine yet. I tend to favor a little bit of sweeter drinks, and I haven't quite found what the right way to do that with the Nespresso is, because the creamer, using creamer on the Nespresso machine is just way too sweet for me. So I'm still experimenting, but I've also noticed that I've been purchasing a lot of coffee still, purchasing a lot of Starbucks or purchasing coffee at the grocery store, and I would just make my own iced coffee here at home. So I feel that it is not a necessity for one person who lives by themselves to have the Nespresso machine. Two of my favorite capsules have been the Forest Green and the Tokyo Vultro, I think it's called. These retail for about $7.50 to $11. And I've only ever needed to go to the Nespresso store and purchase maybe 3 of the long capsule boxes, maybe once so far, but that's also because I'm not drinking from the Nespresso so much. They also have this very cool recyclable program where you receive this pouch where you can add all of the capsules that are used, and there's already a prepaid label there where you can mail in the capsules, or something that hasn't been great but you can do is drop it off at the Nespresso store. So here in the city where I live, the Nespresso store closed for a period of time. I think they were remodeling and moving to the second location, which is the clip that I added in here. But while that first Nespresso store was closed, I noticed that these packages were laying all around the front of the store. So people just went and dropped off their Nespresso capsules there anyways, even though it was locked down. And so it really created somewhat of a mess. And I think there needs to be a better drop-off point for when things like that happen, or better communication. But I have friends who have the Nespresso machine and they absolutely love it and use it religiously. I think just for me personally, as someone who usually just drinks 1 coffee a day, who really enjoys iced coffee and sweeter coffees, for me, it's not a necessity. It's a nice to have. I really do also enjoy traditional brewed coffee. And so I still kept my traditional brewed coffee machine in case I ever want to swap back out. And so it's nice to have the option in case I have company, or in case my sister or family members want to grab a latte. But I think it's not something that's a must-have for me personally. And you can make that choice for yourself. I do believe that the machine is retailing for $319 right now, and that is with the frother attachment. I would recommend purchasing the machine that comes with a frother already, because that is a big necessity if you want to create lattes or cappuccinos or fancy specialty drinks. And it's nice that they have the one plug. That was a big selling point for me personally, because I do have a smaller kitchen. But I purchased it for about $240 in December of last year. And again, it was because I took advantage of their kind of Christmas sale, I think it was. And I believe that Nespresso does do big holiday sales. And so you just need to keep an eye out for when the next one is. That's why I don't feel so bad about purchasing the machine, because I did get it on sale and I haven't had to purchase many capsules since then. So it doesn't feel like a huge expense, but in my lifestyle would use it in addition to other coffee options. But I hope this helps, and I hope this gave you information so that you can make the decision on whether or not to purchase this machine. I did originally choose to purchase it in black, and then I quickly changed my mind once I saw the chrome, because I think it's just so elegant and it looks much more high-end. And I believe that'll go with a lot of different kitchens and different kitchen appliances. And so I do recommend that that's the one you go with. That one is currently sold out, I believe. but I'm sure it'll be back in stock because it's a popular one. So let me know in the comments below if you have any additional questions I could answer for you. And I hope you enjoyed this review. See you later. Bye.